Hello YouTube viewers, my name is Suzanne Kennedy. I take pleasure in viewing all of the very creative videos that are posted on YouTube and occasionally interview some of the up-and-coming artists. Today we're going to be speaking with very famous Mike Minasian, famous singer and keyboard player. His performances are well known in the Virginia and DC areas because he does Persian, Arabic, and Armenian music. So Mike, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Susan. I appreciated your time.
So Mike, tell me, you mostly perform in the Northern Virginia area. What do you think about entertainment in our area? How do you find yourself fitting into that?
Well, Susan, I think that's a really important question. Entertainment in general in Virginia, in my view, is troubling, kind of. I've been here 3 years almost in Virginia and in the East Coast. The trend here and the lifestyle is a little bit different. You see, the people are mostly business oriented, where they focus on work and rely on shortcuts in their life. How to go to work, how come back, how can they have their meal and sleep and rest next day, do the same route. So with that shortcut, it impacted the industry somehow. And it's very obvious being around here. I've been to so many entertainer locations, like in restaurants, picnics, where business people are using electronic sources such as CDs, running DJs. That is big risk when relying on only CDs and other type of entertainment, and denying the efforts of artists and live entertainment. That's what's happening these days in this area. So in this 2 or 3 years, honestly, I wasn't as active as I was back in California and Arizona. I was very busy, and this interview maybe gives me a chance to express how I feel. And I'm hoping that the people in the East Coast, and particularly in Virginia and DC, to open up, start to support entertainment. It's going to restaurants, parties, birthdays, to New Year events. This way the artist is motivated more to produce, and produce with quality. This is a very risky problem. I can see it. Actually, if you're going back to California, you see it's the entertainment is much more active, and therefore we are calling people to come from the West Coast to perform in the East Coast, or even sometimes from neighboring countries like Canada, England, but well, England is a little bit far. Maybe Mexico for Latino community. And this is not a good news for the community in general.
So Mike, you had mentioned in your last response something about risk to musicians. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
What I mean by victimize, actually, it's not a definition that means victims of crimes or any other judicial issue. Well, I meant victim of society, actually, where you have lots of social economical changes, and the community goes through too many obstacles. With these changes, the artists are becoming caught and trapped into a situation where it occurred as a result of these changes in the community. Thank you.
Mike, now I'm curious, what are your views of Armenian, Arabic, and Persian music?
Oh, I really admire the ethnic music. Very strong music, very rich. Whether it was Arabic or Persian or Turkish, very strong music and very rich musical skill. They built their foundation. As you know, ethnic groups come here as immigrants, and this is well known. These groups try to do their best to succeed socially, and with that success it comes too many issues as far as competition among their groups for job, for advancement, and within that type of competition somehow the musicians are getting caught as a way of trying to push everybody around, and they are getting trapped with that type of behavior. And this is happening all over. As a result of that, you see, most artists are staying away from that line of business because there is no support but very negative at an approach to these people. They're trying to produce and improve their music. And the trend is these guys come in and get together in California. That's why we all know California is becoming a foundation to produce records and new upcoming artists. And for some reason, which I don't know it's right or wrong, I myself have 4 students. They are performing in California and they're becoming well-known artists. And some are good, some are average, some are, you know. But the point I'm trying to make is, and again, the education of this group, of the community, is not to the level of evaluating artists. In other words, if you're not from California, you don't have musical identity, which is false. Most musicians are not really centered in California, but other location, and they're doing as fine as they are. But still, the mentality is if you're not from that institution, then you're not an artist. It's wrong. So it is a big risk, and I think the community need to become more educated in music. The more you're educated, the more understanding, the more you are going to have a very positive impact on the future of music.
So Mike, we've talked about ethnic music. What do you think about American music?
American music is like every other music, but I still think it's going really into, there's problems too. I mean, if you go back to 70s, 60s, and 50s even, there was originality. The music was singing, the artists or the singers, they were singing from the bottom of their heart. There was essential element that make the music successful. Currently, for the past 5 to 10 years, it became more electronic, DJ and R&Bs, which really losing the sense and the meaning. What is all America about? How to express it. And sometimes you can't even hear or understand the lyrics. There's no music, no taste, and not real vision. And music is not music actually when it's really targeting violence, targeting bad society, drugs and all that stuff. That's what we can see. It's really sad.
So now tell us, what are your future plans?
I will be really busy working on my last album. The album is 10 songs, and it's going to be mainly Iraqi songs, Arabic Iraqi songs. I will produce 3 of them. I will write the lyric and the music. I'll be working very soon with this album. And from there I will be having a tour, actually, going to Pennsylvania for an event and accompanying a good singer in California.
Mike, this was a great interview. It was great to hear your thoughts on all of these issues. Thank you very much, and best of luck to you.
Thank you very much.